Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Steph from the High Moving Podcast, and we got summer league action taking place in Las Vegas. All eyes was set on Victor Wembanyama. Spotlight big on him being the top draft pick, number one pick this year. Everybody want to see how he'll do in his debut against the Charlotte Hornets. But I got to say, though, Scoot Henderson, he's legit. Now, I know he got injured. He injured his shoulder. We don't know the extent of the injuries. Hopefully he's not going to be an injury-prone player going forward. But in 21 minutes of action, 15 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, he's nice. You can make the case. I know it's just early on. It's just one summer league game. I get it. But Scoot Henderson, he's a real deal. I think the Portland Trail Blazers should be thanking the lucky stars that they were able to land him and be the heir apparent to Damian Lillard. Now look, we know how great Dame is, but in this one game, I think I've seen enough. I mean, he was probably, you can make the case, he was probably the most NBA ready player, considering he was playing the G League, for a year or two already. His game was going to translate much better into a pro style game. He plays like a pro guard already. He plays like a two-way kind of he plays like a combo guard already, between point and shooting guard. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is the type of guard you want in the NBA. He has the perfect size for that position at 6'2". He could be probably 6'3". He looks bigger to me. He looks bigger than 6'2". Could be around that 6'2.5", 6'3" range. But hey, he's listed at 6'2". Has a good size, good frame. I just like the way he was shooting the ball, navigating to the paint, dishing the ball. It was just, there was nothing. His defense was okay. All right. But that is something that gets better over time. It's very hard for rookies to just have elite defenses, an elite defensive game, out the gate, unless like that was your calling card prior. You know what I'm saying? Like you were a defensive player first and then you develop into an offensive player later, a la like a Jimmy Butler, right? But yeah, so I like this prospect. He's it. He's it. I know it's just one game. I know it's just like, it's just one game. Why you don't, you never know. But it's from what I saw from Victor Wembanyama. Sorry, it's hard to pronounce his last name. But he was okay. Like, I'm not gonna knock him too much. I know the pressure was huge on him. Brandon Miller, the other draft pick in Charlotte, kind of D'd him up a couple times. But he had 5 blocks though, right? I'm not concerned about the points, but at least you were getting defensive effort. At 7'3", getting 5 blocks, you would hope he would get somewhere around, 2 to 5 blocks a game, hopefully more than 2 a game. So hopefully his average around blocks is somewhere around 3.5 for it going forward, right? So I didn't really see anything impressive from Victor Wembanyama. He's very nimble. He can move. He's not too stiff. I just saw like from him, he just seemed kind of like nervous in the paint, and it just could be just first game jitters and whatnot. So that's totally fine. So I think he'll grow into a player that the Spurs need him to be, and not what we expect him to be. So that's totally fine. So no knock on him. I think the Spurs are they're going to be happy with the selection, and they're going to be able to craft him in type player that they're going to need him to be for the organization. So he may not have the big numbers or whatever, but he will probably fit well in whatever system they build in San Antonio for him to flourish, right? So, but for Scoot Henderson, he's a plug and play type of player off rip. I definitely like what I saw from him. So like I said, hopefully that short injury isn't a precursor to a type of season. So hopefully they're just going to shut him down. But just 21 minutes of action, he to me looks like the best player in the draft so far, for what I've seen. And I know Brandon Miller had a decent game too. He had like 16 points and whatnot. So I think every team picked the player they needed. But just for me, yeah, I think Scoot, I think a lot of teams wanted Scoot Henderson. I can see why there's a lot of that rumblings of what should the Pelicans do with Zion Williamson, right? I know people were like, what, him for Scoot Henderson, whatever. And I was kind of scratching my head too. I knew he was nice, from the G League. But seeing him on full display, I know he's just playing against other G League players, but we've seen a lot of G League players play well in the G League as a rookie, and it definitely translates later into the season, into the career, right? So I definitely, from my eyes now, see why he's ready to go. I definitely have him favorite. I don't know what I'll do for NBA Rookie of the Year, but Scoot Henderson, If he can stay healthy, I like my chances on putting a wager on him. Let me know what y'all think about the debut of Scoot Henderson and some of these rookies that you saw here in Las Vegas Summer League. And let me know your thoughts. Anyways, thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.